We don't cover a lot of DC news here on the Chaos Multiverse, but this is huge, and I know a lot of you have an interest in The Flash and what's going on with Ezra Miller, and what the future will be for The Flash in the DCEU. We actually put up an entire movie plot leak not too long ago about this, so this is very, very interesting. Now, The Flash is one of the most iconic heroes in the DC lineup, but it has been an absolute nightmare for Warner Brothers to bring him to the big screen. While he's been in a handful of TV shows and there's been a handful of different actors in the role, big screen Flash duties were handed to Ezra Miller, starting with the disastrous Justice League. Since then, WB has been doing their best to get a standalone Flash movie off the ground. And while there is a feature film coming out next year starring the character, the drama surrounding this project has ultimately offset any possible good that could be done. So following the quiet firing of Amber Heard from Aquaman 2, it seems that WB has now made a pretty big change with the DCEU, and this one could actually have some massive ripple effects. Ezra Miller has been fired. Now, for those that out of the loop, Ezra Miller has been the center of a ton of controversies over the last few years. It all started back in 2011 when they were arrested for possession of marijuana, although this wasn't exactly the biggest deal since weed was legalized a few years later. Anyway, the charges were reportedly dropped by the judge. But things really got bad in 2020 when a video started circulating the internet of Miller choke-slamming a woman at a bar in Iceland. And then in early 2022, Miller was arrested in Hawaii after assaulting patrons of a karaoke bar. Less than a month later, they were arrested again and charged with a second-degree assault for throwing a chair at a 26-year-old woman. So since then, Miller has gotten into even more hot water after evidence emerged that they had begun a relationship with a 12-year-old back in 2016 when Ezra was 23. As of June 10th, Miller has been on the run, basically. Nobody knows where they are. Now, needless to say, this has caused an absolute PR nightmare for Warner Brothers with the Flash movie right around the corner. And I do want to say, if the script ends up being true, the plot leak that we went over, the Flash movie looks like it could be absolutely amazing. It's just, okay. The movie is currently set to release on June 23rd of next year, and there is no way that it gets pushed back any further. The movie has been delayed multiple times. The pandemic already, and Warner Brothers is probably not about to sink any more money into the project, especially considering the state of the movie star. The story is an adaptation of the Flashpoint comic book arc, and it's supposed to feature the return of both Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton as two different versions of Batman, which sets up the future of the DCEU. Now, there's also going to be multiple versions of the Flash show up, and they're going to make things more complicated, but reports have stated early test screenings were good. They were successful. The movie is in a solid place. Unfortunately, the drama surrounding Ezra Miller is likely going to be the death of this project. Now, countless people offline have already expressed they don't want to go see a movie if Miller is in the leading role. Like I said, there's no way the movie gets pushed back again after so much money has been poured into the project, but recent reports have stated that once it releases, that Miller is officially fired from the DCEU. According to Deadline, WB CEO David Zaslav has made the decision to cut all ties with Miller, but in the meantime, they're just going to sit and hope that the controversies don't get worse before the release of the movie. It's too expensive to delay the movie any further, and obviously, you can't just edit Miller out of the film the way that Amber Heard is reportedly being edited out of Aquaman 2. Ezra Miller is the film. I mean, WB's in a tough spot here. I don't really envy the new CEO situation at all. There really is a no-win situation for Warner Brothers, and their current strategy is honestly, it's the only thing they can do at this point. So I get it. Now, it's important to make clear that WB is not responsible for the actions of Ezra Miller, but because of where the movie is in production and how much money has already been sunk into it, they don't really have a choice but to release it. They have obligations to fulfill to their shareholders and all the other actors and actresses in the movie and all the people that worked on the movie. It's not just Ezra Miller. There's a lot more. Like I said, this is a ripple effect. It can't be delayed any further, and Miller can't be removed from it. Rumors are currently stating that the DCEU is going to be completely restarted after The Flash, which would line up with the rumors we've reported on in the past. But Miller will not be involved. I mean, they've been arrested twice in the last year. They're currently on the run, so it's not like WB can work with them again, even if they wanted to. But what makes it really sad is that they're going to reboot the DCEU, and we go watch The Flash. We know that none of this is going to be canon. None of this sticks. None of it matters. It's a one-off. So if you want to go see a comic book hero movie, that's fun. But if you're looking for like the bigger picture, the MCU vibe, it's pointless. Long story short, Ezra Miller is just somebody whose past finally caught up with him. Unfortunately, Warner Brothers has to foot the bill for all the damage done to Miller's career in the process. It's a shame. I mean, it is. The DCEU was really starting to turn the corner. The Suicide Squad, it was good. Peacemaker, good. Joker, masterpiece. People are hyped for the return of both Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton as the Dark Knight. Me, personally, it's a shame that WB now has to deal with the PR fallout of firing 2 stars in just a couple months apart from each other. But I will say, Ezra Miller and Amber Heard's situations are completely different. So let's keep that in mind as well as we move forward. So, Flash is scheduled to release on June 23rd of next year. But I honestly wouldn't be shocked if it actually gets pushed forward. We don't hear that very often. I think so, though. I mean, so WB can get it over with, move on, reboot the universe, and put this behind them. The controversy surrounding Ezra Miller are not going to get any better, so they may make the decision to just push The Flash out into theaters and hope at least for some box office return before moving on and putting them behind. I mean, The Flash moniker itself is going to get people to go watch it. And I'm telling you right now, if the story leak is true, it's a good movie. They may even decide to cancel the theatrical release and just move The Flash to HBO Max in order to keep things more quiet. I don't know. Whatever they choose to do, though. Miller is out, and WB has a huge mess to clean up. Hopefully, they can get things back on track with a new Flash actor and a new storyline, and then maybe put everything on Aquaman 2 and Black Adam and start from there and bring Ben Affleck back. I love Batfleck. I do. Anyway, my big question to you guys is this. Who replaces Ezra Miller as the Flash? Do they take the CW version, or do they just completely go out and cast somebody brand new? It's a super important character, and everybody loves the character, and it deserves to be done right. You guys let me know what you think. And the other big question is, are you going to watch The Flash? Are you going to go to the movies and experience the movie? I'm torn because, like I said, it's probably going to be a really good movie. I don't know yet. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you soon.